Uber comfort comes at a great cost to riders as well as a lot of danger for drivers.
Xbox,
Twitter,
Uber,
Postmates,
Netflix, MoviePass,
Google, Facebook, eBay,
DoorDash,
Apple, Amazon, Airbnb,
The Apptrepreneur. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and did you enjoy the intro? You might have noticed that's a little new here. Yes, I was talking about this yesterday on a live stream where I celebrated 15,000 subscribers. Thank you, each and every one, for making that happen. That I wanted to start sprucing up the channel, I wanted to lean more into other things, and I wanted to have a new intro that would represent that. So hopefully that intro will do fine. It will be different by the end of the year. I'm going to do a different type of intro. However, I'm experimenting with the intro. I'm kind of seeing what people think of the whole concept, seeing if it's too intrusive. So, throughout the week, not just today, but through the next few weeks, I'm going to be monitoring that. And if people like it, we will move on to a better intro. And if not, well, maybe we'll just kill the thing altogether. Who knows? So, and it's interesting that we should launch it today because, well, we are talking about nothing but Uber stories today because Uber just had like a crazy last 48 hours. I can't even cover all the topics, and yet we're going to try. We are going to try. We're going to talk about this story, which is pretty important. We're going to talk about the AB5 bill, which is very important. And then we're going to talk about a little blurb that was let slip through when we were at the AB5 rally, or the Uber rally, I should say. So, yeah, it's going to be a busy day talking about Uber. But anyway, Uber comfort. Here's the article title. For Uber riders, guaranteed comfort comes at a cost. Now, what are they talking about? They are talking about their new Uber comfort model. And it says here, Uber is letting passengers tell their driver in advance that they'd like a little less conversation and more legroom if those passengers are willing to pay. So he's like, the ride-hailing giant launched comfort rides in dozens of cities Tuesday. Riders are guaranteed 36 inches of legroom in newer car. It says in quotes like, newer cars, meaning that those that are under 5 years old, and they can request a preferred air temperature. Riders can also use the app to tell drivers they don't want to chat, avoiding what some consider an awkward exchange. Uber is responding to requests from business travelers and others who say they just want to work or rest quietly when they're on the way to the airport, which, by the way, is a complaint I've heard a lot. I've heard many people say, like, yeah, they just want peace and quiet, and the driver won't shut up. So I acknowledge that. Quote, it's a way to set an expectation up front. It takes some guesswork out of the process, says Aiden Gajar, senior project manager at Uber. In the early days of ride-hailing, when drivers for Uber and its main U.S. rival Lyft began picking up riders in their personal cars, riders were often chatty, asking the drivers lots of questions. Quote, it was so new and innovative that a lot of people were curious about other things the drivers did, said Harry Campbell. Hi, Harry. Founder of The Rideshare Guy, a blog and online community for drivers. Over the years, it's gotten more transactional. And by the way, we've talked about the quiet mode, and Harry says something very true. Some drivers like it. They don't want to have to look at social cues, which that's me. I've got Asperger's. Reading social cues is very hard. Other drivers feel that's a little dehumanizing. I do feel like in our society, everything is turning into an app, and we're losing the art of conversation, which must be nice if you had an art of conversation to lose. I don't think I ever had that. I think I'm frankly lucky to have friends sometimes. Now, here's the thing. We don't want to talk about any of that. Not necessarily. I mean, yeah, here's what they're talking about. They're talking about how it varies from city to city, what kind of Uber services are going to use it, and that it's going to come at a great cost. Like, where is it? Right there. Yeah, it's basically going to be premium products. Like, drivers who qualify for the program can make about 20% more on an Uber Comfort ride than UberX, and an Uber spokesman, Steve Im. But some drivers earned less during an Uber Comfort pilot because their cars qualified for the Pricer Uber Select or the Uber XL options, and they couldn't easily opt out of the Uber Comfort option, Campbell said. Drivers will now be able to opt out of Uber Comfort using the app. So that's interesting. Drivers who qualify for the program can make about 20% more on Uber Comfort ride than UberX ride. Does that mean they're going to get paid more? I mean, because we all know what Uber's vision of making more money is. They're like, they still live by this whole thing like, well, hey, if the prices are cheaper, you'll get more rides, therefore you will make more money. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't really work that way. And right here it says, but some drivers earned less during an Uber Comfort pilot because their cars qualified for the pricier Uber Select or the Uber XL option. So it seems like Uber Comfort's kind of the separate thing. And if you get Uber Comfort, you will probably make more money. However, it's going to be more money on top of the Uber X, and if you have like a Black or XL or something, you would probably make more money without using it. So there's Uber thinking ahead again. But that's not even the main thing I want to talk about. I mean, you probably saw the title. You're wondering what it was referring to. Well, let's look at this. We're going to go over to Facebook real quick. And Facebook has been acting really glitchy on me recently, but there it is. So here's the thing. I'm going to block out the name there. But here's a message from Uber. And as you can see, he gave a little word on what he feels about this. Hi, so-and-so. We are contacting you to inform you that we received a report that your car was a bit too cold and you spoke to your rider during a comfort ride. Reports of this nature requires us to put a temporary hold on your account while we investigate. Dear God, is this what it's come to? I mean, maybe Uber just has too many drivers or something and they just want to get rid of them. Maybe they're just doing little sneaky things in preparation of AB5, just totally screwing them over, so they want to get rid of as much drivers as possible. But you got to be kidding me, right? Okay, look, even if you're getting paid extra for the Uber Comfort, this is a very, very slippery slope for drivers. Because here's the thing: what if I see? And I don't know. I don't have the Uber Comfort on my app, so and my car wouldn't qualify for it anyway. It's too old. What does too cold look like? The passenger recommends, what if they say like, hey, we want it to be medium chilled in the car? What's that mean? I mean, I know that there's like dials on the cold, at least on my car. For some, it's like a specific temperature. How do you do this? And specifically request it. And that's crazy to me. Now, as for the chatting, well, I mean, yeah, I guess I don't know how well they warn you about that the person doesn't want to talk, but maybe they should follow it. But then we're getting into murky territory again. I mean, are these details even made that obvious to the drivers? I mean, I guess they probably are, but like, what does the cold and the hot look like on the passenger's app? Is there any way to even scientifically say it? And what if it like says, hey, we want the cold to be like a 2. Let's say it's a 2. The person before wanted it on a 4. So, okay, you turn it from 4 to 2, but they get in and they feel it's kind of like a 3. It's just too cold for them. Or maybe it is a 2 and their version of a 2 is like, this is where you start getting really, really complicated. You don't suspend people for talking unless it's like offensive speech, obviously. Like, we're talking about like politics, religion, never discuss it. And you shouldn't be suspended for your AC being too cold or maybe not being on enough, or maybe being too warm. I don't know. But you know what this means is going to happen? I think a lot of Uber drivers are just simply not going to want to use the Uber Comfort feature. Why on earth would you do this? I mean, before you were worried about people puking in your car, ruining your night. You're worried about like violent people ruining your night. You were worried about false SA and drunk driving complaints. You were worried about all these things. Did you ever in your wildest dreams think that you would be concerned about having your driving privileges suspended because the car was too cold and hey, you were a little friendly so you decided to talk? I mean, here's the thing. If they say don't talk, then don't talk. I mean, I guess that's fine, but that should be easy enough to avoid. But the fact that the car's cold, I mean, that reminds me of the first time I had Uber rage. When I got home, saw that I had got a flag on my account. I didn't know what it was for. Looked at the flag and it said car quality. I didn't know what the heck was car quality. I'd been flagged for other things before, like, hey, we felt you were driving too fast or whatever. And then I found out the car quality was the quality of the vehicle. They didn't like your vehicle. They thought it should have been nicer. So they flagged me because I drove a Corolla and not a Tesla. Are you kidding me? You're getting an Uber X. An Uber X. And I was getting flagged. Granted, nothing happened because I think even Uber knows that that's really stupid to actually, deactivate you or suspend you for that. And yet, here they are deactivating you for having your AC on too cold. Wonderful. Wonderful. Uber Comfort. Now it's going to cost riders more money, and it's going to create less job security for the drivers. And of course, then there's that whole debate. Should Uber even be deactivating drivers, aka firing them, over stuff like this? I don't know. You know what? There's other more complicated, bigger issues to talk about today. This was supposed to be like a quickie. Either way, for those of you who want to know, Uber still sucks. All the people who were saying, oh, we want things to remain the same. Yeah. They say they don't want to be fired. Yeah. What's this look like to you? Anyway, I'm going to talk more about that in the next one. I've actually got more nuanced view on the people who were at the rally. So in the meantime, what do you think about this? I'd love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way, helping the channel run smoothly and get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. Also, if gas prices are getting you just a little down, check out the Get Upside app below. It's totally free, and you get cash back on every gas purchase. Also, if you want more content from me, check out my other YouTube channels, Kevin T. Rodriguez and the Apptrepreneur vlogs. Different than what we talk about here, but still fun, I think. And finally, if you want to talk to me or other fellow rideshare drivers, check us out on Facebook at the Apptrepreneur Hangouts. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.